outlines your fate. Ring cutter. Settle it. Evidence! Boom boom!
Impossible! How could you?
What do you think about your ridiculous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course, you believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fight. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple of small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give them time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Angus' house? The wide-eyed butcher, scarlet bandit, I can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how King Deshret is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hit of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual big book, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really
About what?
about how mercenaries only care about Mora? Now, everyone's a friend as long as it's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another.
You heard the question.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem...
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much...
Well, Paimon thinks you're great.
Really?
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early, too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh,
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here.
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers. But there's one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru village care little about which god is in power. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's...
They're called village keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, so it was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process. I'm not...
That's one.
Huh?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask...
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. It strikes me now that this secretive character
Which means it's highly likely that they were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now,
Not the academia again.
just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless,
You're right. Time to go. Let's...
yes.
You got it. Candace?
All right.
Let's meet back here once. Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here.
You were gone for ages! Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an, there's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the. Anyway, you plan to.
Yep. Enough with the silence!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up.
All Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're a...
While you were investigating, I had my own.
Really?
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information.
Huh? Right?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand.
What is that?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're... In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean, some of them...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, the reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce...
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and
Right. You were asking.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then, why would she...
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted...
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, As we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are before. I wouldn't even... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be...
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with
You can tell them.
All right. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you...
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have but because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go!
Land to the swamp.
Monsters! Watch out!
Come a little closer.
Incinerate!
Time to act. No, my sword! Body and mind. Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
Come a little closer.
Motion to compel. Boom boom.
You're in for a little shock.
No, my sword.
Try not to enjoy.
Look at you, Boozle!
Rain cutter.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a...
Hey,
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
and just like that, he sits down. What are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh?
So,
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Kavat travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they tucked it... Oh, it looks like there are other
This world. Like a lamb to the slaughter. Scatter! Propagate!
Time for your arraignment! Motion to...
Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Come a little closer.
Boom boom! Time to act.
Germinate!
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Propagate!
Happy to oblige.
That's close enough. Scatter! Where do you think you're going? I'll be back.
Body and mind.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Look, there's good idea. Let's.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak. Also,
Didn't expect to see...
you know
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
he's a scholar too. Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles?
No. And Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach... Leaving that question aside for the moment. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded.
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The Academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's
These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia, as well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends.
This life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death.
Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to...
Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret.
and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory too, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want—
Throughout this process, first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, an exile is still— If you can't find someone, you have no—
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their—
Extracted?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academy, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night.
So, the human brain...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is... However, I can't... The Academia is going out of their way to look for... I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this for...
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. But I'm not extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects?
Sounds like you're really against...
Of course. The Academia's, whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has it. This matter needs to be corrected.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you...
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, the divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm...
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad...
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this. Uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we return.
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time...
Yep, pretty much!
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village. Almost as if they knew we were...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our...
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our...
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next word.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is... interesting. And here I thought...
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. If you want to raise a vicious wolf...
The Academia?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the... I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Magi.
You're saying that the Academia entered my... But what's the point in doing that? My action...
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would...
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think. However...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements...
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity for safety.
Oh, so that's how... If the Academia is trying to... Yep, that's...
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys!
Please, wait! I want to go too.
You want to go...
I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're... So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Something akin... Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been... Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching?
This is definitely a...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along...
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room.
You're one of us. We would.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew it.
Dia? Why would you? Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa?
Well,
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
so this is the dear. You'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your—
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I...
It's not too late yet. The village keep—
You don't understand, my dear lady.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the air—
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun, with these scholars in our custody, will...
Ridiculous. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all...
It's impossible. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So...
Precisely.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for... However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars.
Think you can...
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers...
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made...
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said? You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't
We've known each other for...
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman. Don't be a coward.
An arm from the flame mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it! Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened. I should have trusted you.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today,
Fine.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and...
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than I am.
Bring him over.
Grandpa!
Why is there only...
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a 1-for-1 exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a...
You stay right there!
Playmate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
This day's going
The sand dune. I saw an energy field. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The Dendro Archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa?
Hey, look around.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being, or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people.
Need my help as you...
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate.
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so pretty!
Sir Rahman,
Huh?
do you
Are you mocking?
interpret it however you want? But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. What?
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to be angry about.
It does seem kind of strange. If
I'm here. Let's go, let's go.
Rain outlines your fate.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Incinerate! Wrap up with flame!
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
I'm a rock!
Time to act. No, my sword!
Hit! You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Hit!
to act. Time to act. Time to act. Body and mind.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. Lift. Yep.
Motion to compel. Incinerate. Rain outlines your fate. Time to act. Rain cutter. Time to act.
That's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasal. His wisdom is a miracle.
You can read ancient king...
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge again?
Yes. However, under the... You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memory.
Oh, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret.
But this doesn't make...
Was that the former Dendro Archon?
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard of the surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known.
Raman, give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of...
Dia, tell me, my Eremites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey, how you...
I'll live. Thanks. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. But please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for a...
Tomorrow, I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you, too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the...
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back. Have a... Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Time to act. Body and mind.
That's close enough.
Time to act.
Like a lamb to the...
Time to act. Time to act. Time to act.
Close enough.
A new punching bag.
Rahman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keep.
I guess all I can say now is...
Don't mention it. I think... But we share a common cause now.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell.
We've been all over the desert trying...
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on...
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They,
Don't play dumb. They extract divine
I don't...
Well, you better start...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh? That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's he asked them, "Do you wish to create a god?"
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel. After that, they harvested dreams, the Akasha's out with the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency. They were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen,
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine...
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the scholar's madness for centuries, but nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely, if it's knowledge no mortal can
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars...
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world?
From the beginning, the Academia has... When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Ruka Devata had indeed... Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's Gnosis has been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So...
All right, let's try to keep our... Raman, give me a few minutes.
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out! The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can.
Oh, Paimons!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels...
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense.
So,
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out.